just thought this was the cutest thing that happened to us on Father's Day.
It's time to spill the tea on Vegas tea time.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Jeff
And Christina.
with another episode of Vegas Tea Time. This is episode 11 already, Christina.
I don't know how we got here. And I know I say it every single week. I mean, duh. But I mean, it's nice to see that more people are watching.
Yeah.
And it's not about watching us. It's just about watching the podcast.
Right.
You know, they're interested. And now we've gotten more feedback about how they love this podcast. And I know quite a few people have been asking if we're going to actually make it a real podcast.
Yes.
So they can just listen if they're doing stuff.
Right.
So,
yeah. So, of course, YouTube wants to get in on the game of podcasts. So when we set a certain category and it says, "Oh, do you want to make this a podcast?" Now, I don't know if that you would think that YouTube would want to push that out more. Because,
it's Vegas news. Come on, push, push, push.
Right.
Push it.
But yeah, so we're just kind of having our tea time.
Yeah.
We're still spilling the tea on all the Vegas news. And, you know, there's so much news that happens during the week that it's almost like our supplemental news to our monthly newscast.
Well, right, because if we wait till the end of the month, I mean, I hate saying it, but everybody hears everything.
Yeah.
Not everybody, because not
Right.
everybody can keep up on everything. But at least this kind of splits it up,
Right.
you know? And then we go to the end of the month, and that goes into next month, though.
Right.
So this at least keeps everything, for lack of a better term, abreast.
Yeah.
Keeps everyone abreast.
I like that.
I figured you would. Keeps everyone abreast of what's happening weekly.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, instead of just pow at the end of the month. But the end of the month ones are always going into next month.
And speaking of next month, July 4th,
July 4th.
we're going to be streaming from a really cool place this year.
I know. Some
And-
other people know about it.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing a live stream from. It's technically it's the Strip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't give anything away.
No, and so Plaza is gonna have their fireworks that they have
They're
every year.
only ones downtown that do fireworks.
Yep. So Plaza's gonna have their yearly July 4th fireworks. They're now, as I'm looking at it, they now have a buffalo. Is it a buffalo wing contest or just
Yeah.
a wing contest?
Okay, so
Buffalo
first,
wing eating contest.
So first off, for the 4th of July, they're making a big deal about it.
Yeah.
Because since they are the only ones in downtown,
Mm-hmm.
they're making it bigger and brighter this year.
Mm-hmm.
So much more like, look at us down here.
Oh yeah,
You
that's right.
can-
Did they say there's going to be even like bigger fireworks or something?
yeah.
Like a bigger firework display for them?
Yeah, just because since we know the Strip does a few of the hotels,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think it's as big as it used to be. I could be wrong, but I think New Year's Eve is bigger.
Oh, New Year's Eve is definitely bigger.
Yeah, it's always been that way, but I think it's last year was kind of like a real like, hello, we're doing New Year's Eve bigger and better than ever. So
Yeah.
regardless, but yeah, the Plaza is doing so. Basically, they're doing fireworks for everybody downtown, and unlike station casinos or other casinos, there's no charge. You can just go down. You know,
What was up with that? I did hear something about that.
$35
What?
if you go see them in the hotels.
Wait a minute. So what in any station property, you have to pay $35 to see fireworks, so you just go outside and look at them?
Well, if you want to be part of it, you know, before you could just see them for free. I haven't got the whole gist on it because I'm totally confused on it. And, you know, anything like that, I'm kind of like, whatever. And I think that just is the locals. They were like, whatever. I'll go in the parking lot
Right.
of Smith's down
Yeah.
the street and we can watch it. We can even watch all the fireworks from the Strip
Right.
in the Smith's parking lot, you know. So don't give me $35 to come watch
It's just-
fireworks.
It just goes along with the, you know, charging for every darn thing.
Well, don't forget you can get charged for, silverware if you go to the MGM.
Right, yeah,
Or glasses when
yeah.
you order champagne.
Yeah, we did talk about that
Yeah,
before.
but it is
But let's get back to the
pretty
Plaza.
stupid. Yeah,
so the
so
Plaza
anyway.
is having a Buffalo
bigger thing,
wing
yeah.
contest.
Buffalo wing eating contest.
Okay.
So anyone who's doing this into the main Wing Bowl event on February 7th.
Yeah, so what it says is that there's going to be, of course, the free viewing party for the Plaza Fireworks. Doors open at 7 p.m. The wing eating contest is going to be at the Carousel Bar
Downstairs.
at 6 p.m.
Yeah, no. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that I think I should enter the contest.
Think you can eat that many wings in 10 minutes?
No, I don't care. I'm just going to sit there and go.
So that way
Everybody's like shoveling, going, doing all this crazy stuff, like go off the bone and everything. I'm just going to sit there and go, I'm going to enjoy my wings.
you're going to get free wings.
That's right.
I think they'll be like, get out.
Yeah, just get all pumped up and go like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. And then all of a sudden they're like 3, 2, 1, go. And you're like,
Jeff's like, here's my
And you're
Coke.
like-
I ordered a Coke.
oh, another Pepsi, please. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
So I think it is. It's whoever eats the most amount, who can eat the most amount of wings in 10 minutes will win $1,000.
I've seen some of those like in years past, like in ESPN and stuff.
Yeah.
And people just like,
Shovel it in.
well, no, it's the aftermath.
Oh, I know that.
It's people
yeah.
that can actually keep it down.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like shoveling it in and then trying to keep it down. And remember, we used to, and I can't remember his name right now because I just now thought of the show, but on Food Network, that kind of big guy, I think his name was Adam.
Oh yeah, Man versus Food.
Man versus Food.
Yeah.
And he would do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he thought he could go in and do all of that kind of stuff.
That was the precursor to that whole mukbang trend.
Right. And yeah, he was running to the bathroom some of the times because he just could not hold it in and down, so.
And these are buffalo wings.
I know.
So all those wings you're stuffing in your stomach are going to come out either the front or the back. One of the two.
We don't need to go there.
One of the two. And I don't know. I mean, I love my wings, but that's
just, yeah. I mean, hey, to each his own.
Yeah.
You got people that have been, doing the hot dog eating contest. Okay,
Right.
cool. But then there's also, and me, I'm a big kind of like, when it comes to bread, because bread fills you up so quickly.
Yeah.
I've never understood that, but then they drink it with the water, and
Yeah.
that sometimes I think that makes it worse.
Yeah.
But anyway, regardless, so that's what they're doing.
it's
So if you-
$1,000 I see here.
Yeah, but then that will get you it's up on the 4th, and then first and second place will earn entries into the Wing Bowl. So
Okay.
get your stomachs ready, people.
Yeah.
If you are into that,
Yeah.
if you're like, oh, I can do that, not even 10 minutes.
I don't even like I was just kind of saying, like when I've caught that on TV before, I don't really even like watching that. I don't know. It's just not me. It's not my cup of tea. Maybe it's other people's cup
Well,
of tea.
here's the thing too with wings. So I'm saying like, oh, hot dogs, or you got hamburgers, whatever. But with wings, you've got bones.
Right.
But everything else you can shove in your mouth and just eat it.
Right, but they've got that down where they literally go like
They just
pull
suck it off the
Yeah,
bone.
yeah, they literally pull it off the bone and then boom.
Speaking of which, I wonder if I'm just thinking challenge.
What?
I wonder if not that this has been said anywhere, but it just made me think. I wonder if Lydia's husband's gonna enter this.
Oh yeah, he
That
sometimes does
challenge
that stuff.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'll
Yeah.
have to see about that because I just all of a sudden I went, oh yeah, he may enter that.
Mhm.
So who knows?
Well-
and then I'll be like, how do you do it?
Yeah. Well, we do have a few more other food-related things going on. So, Salt and Straw, that is the ice cream
Yes.
place that's going to be opening up at the Uncommons.
No, this is like a national,
Yeah.
the nation's best ice cream
So-
in quotes.
So, Salt and Straw, they are at the Uncommons, which is the area across the street from Durango Casino in the southwest part of the Las Vegas Valley. And I did a walk through there, so people can check that out, of
Okay.
course,
Yeah.
and see where all that is. So what's the deal with Salt and Straw? What is
So-
it? Is it food or what is it?
It's salt and straws. No.
Okay, moving on.
No, it's the nation's best. Well, this is what it's called in quotes. Nation's best ice cream shop. So
Oh.
yeah, so they have different kinds of ice cream that you've never heard of before, and
Do they have ice cream that's just chocolate or vanilla or
you mean
chocolate chip
you
or
mean like Jeff flavors?
shutty?
They do have a vanilla one. It's called, I believe, Double Fold Vanilla.
Ah.
But it's more vanilla bean they use in it to make it more vanilla-y. I'm kind of interested because me, I don't like vanilla, but I do like it if it's really, really like a good vanilla.
To me, as I've always said, it's like when it comes to ice cream, it's got to be cold. Like icy cold.
Right.
Nobody wants this. Like if you have soft serve, even soft serve, that's
it
really
has to be
icy
cold.
cold.
If it's warm, no.
Yeah, like this.
That's a big fat no.
Yeah, this this sloppy. Ugh.
So they do have like brownie chocolate chip.
No.
Yeah, which looks pretty good. And they've got like sea salt, caramel, ribbon, things like that. But then they have like, oh, what's the one flavor I'm thinking of? It's something with pepper. It's like basil. I can't remember right now. But some other different flavors that I know that you would not be interested in, but there are some that I would like to try.
See this face?
I know that's yeah, exactly. But still,
But hasn't Salt and Straw been at the Uncommons already for a little while?
I believe so. It's been, but now they're on the Strip, so they're going to be opening.
That's what it is. So Salt
gonna-
and Straw is across the street from Durango, but they're going to have a new location at
Two.
Flamingo.
2 locations. So opening this fall,
Mm-hmm.
it'll be at the Flamingo, but cool with a Las Vegas entrance, Las Vegas Boulevard entrance.
Okay.
So you don't have to go in and look
Gotcha.
for it. So bam, right there. Not sure exactly where. And then there's going to be another one, apparently what I've read, right underneath the Eiffel Tower at Paris.
Oh.
So that whole area underneath.
Because they're all Caesar's properties, so
Yes,
that makes sense.
exactly. So that
So,
whole area underneath the
Okay.
tower. Yeah.
I'm trying to think where that would go because the only thing that I remember from doing the live streams is there's I can't even remember, but it's like called like something like the Arc Bar or something, just way overpriced, grab and go, Coors Light, whatever.
It may take over that.
So yeah, maybe. And then at the Flamingo, I mean, Pinky's just opened on the corner there by Cromwell, and then Gordon Ramsay Burger was now where the Bird Bar area was.
Mm-hmm.
So that's open. So there's no space really in that area. So the only other thing I could think of would be on the corner where Margaritaville was before.
Well, that would make perfect sense.
And that's on the corner of Flamingo and just as you're about to go in the Lake Promenade.
Yeah, the promenade. Yeah, so that would
Yeah.
definitely
I don't
make
know.
sense.
I mean, if
No,
they
but
say
if-
they're going
if
to
it-
have a Las Vegas entrance,
Yeah, Las Vegas Boulevard entrance, which would make total sense since that's what's closed and there's something, where the other ones are. But so the one at Paris,
do they have a time frame for either of these?
fall of this year.
Oh, fall
for-
of this year?
Yeah, of this year at the Flamingo, and then 2026 for the one at Paris. Now I was looking through their Instagram page, and they took a picture. A few of the people involved, including the owner and her cousin, I believe. The owner and her cousin are the ones that started the whole thing. It's a really great story, actually, but I'm not going to get into it all, right now. But it's a really cool story how this all came about and talking about having a vision and getting there. But they took a picture with like them going like this with the Eiffel Tower above them, going like think big
And
or something like that.
And it's definitely outside?
Yes.
What it sounds like?
Well, they took the picture
Because you know
outside.
how it goes, the Eiffel Tower
Yeah, I
goes in
know.
the inside of the Paris casino?
Yeah, no, this seems like it was on the outside.
Okay, that would be where that bar is.
Yeah, exactly. And it was them taking the picture kind of just like this so they could get the tower going up, saying something like, think big or something. And that was last year that they posted that on Instagram. So
Okay.
now that this is being announced that this will be coming 2026.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting
Yeah.
to see. I mean, she's made headlines in the New York Times. I mean, it's a really big place. So or a really big deal. So it'll be interesting how it takes off here. God knows we could use ice cream shops more. Here, more ice cream, less pizza. Did I say that?
You did, but I agree. That's good too.
Well, a lot of the pizza places aren't that great.
Right? No,
And it's super expensive.
no, I get it.
But of course, I don't know what the prices will be
Yeah.
for this. But regardless,
Yeah.
there's always lines around everything for ice cream, especially right now when
Yeah.
it's hot. It's kind of like Disney. Oh, well, they have places at Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Disney. What's the part outside of Disneyland?
The Esplanade. Oh, Disney Spring. Disney Springs is in Florida, but
So they have one there.
yeah,
They have one in downtown Disney.
that's what I mean.
Yeah, and they've got them all over. So it's not like, they're kind of new and spreading. They've been around.
And so now another new place where you're talking about food, ice cream, and all that. But on the higher end, we've got High Steaks that's coming to the Rio, replacing Voodoo Steak.
Yeah,
So-
replacing Voodoo Steaks.
Yeah.
It'll be High Steaks. So high, Steaks instead of High Steaks,
I got-
Stakes.
I gotta admit that's kind of a clever name
It's very clever.
because you're high up,
Yep.
with the view
Yep.
and the steaks, and
And then High Stakes.
yeah, exactly,
Poker or
exactly.
high stakes gambling or high stakes whatever. So it's a very good play on words. The only unfortunate part is with everything, again, and I always preface it with this because I don't want us to always look like, oh, they talk about everything negative. No, it's just that they're expensive.
Yeah,
And
yes,
that's and we just put that out there so people
Right.
know. Like if you've heard of this or you want to go, that's great. If you could
Yeah.
afford it, awesome. I mean, I think everybody would want to go to any one of
Well,
the new restaurants.
yeah, you save up money and
Yeah.
you have that nice dinner when you come to Vegas,
Yep.
and it looks like it's a $3 million makeover to be
Yes.
opening in October of this
Mhm.
year.
Yep, October. But the Voodoo Steaks will be closing after
July
after
4th,
business on July 5th.
July 5th.
Yeah, after dinner on July 5th. Yes.
And it's the same chef that's in charge of.
That started Esther. That's in charge of Esther's, the chef known
Ah.
for Esther's downtown.
Yep.
Yeah, so we've got a chef at the Rio that's already well known
Right.
from the Esther's fame. So he will be taking that over and overlooking all the operations, and that's the whole thing. Is it's going to be called High Stakes.
And
So
there's what I'm reading, another steak house, steak restaurant, whatever you want to call it, opening at the Wynn, right? Yeah. And it doesn't sound cheap. It doesn't
Well, I'm
sound
gonna-
inexpensive.
I'm gonna laugh. I'm just gonna, yeah. They're not cheap. They're not inexpensive. I don't want to say cheap. They're not inexpensive. And like guys from Review Journal said, yeah, we won't be reviewing Sartianos anytime soon, just because they were talking about the prices of everything, and I mean, but hey, if you love Italian, an Italian steakhouse, good. I
yeah,
mean,
and it has a view of the Wynn Golf Course.
Yes,
so that's kind of cool.
it does have a view of the golf course. It'll also it'll be connected to the other social club Zero Bond.
Okay.
They're kind of connected there,
Okay.
and both of them all look over the
Wynn Golf Course.
According to the New York menu, Caesar salad, chicory salad, either or, are $21 to $23. Appetizers like baked clams, octopus, meatballs, octopus and meatballs are $22 to $28.
Mm-hmm.
Pasta starts at $28. Steaks are $64 to $235. And sides like beans, carrots, potatoes are $14 each.
Of course, they're a la carte.
And exactly. So plan on $250 for two people, and more if you partake in the high-priced alcohol.
Or you can be like Jeff and go to Giada's and spend $250 on yourself because you're a moron.
Don't call yourself a moron. You just didn't realize that. I hate that you do that. Don't call yourself a moron.
Well, anyway, if you don't know what we're talking about, just go back and watch some other videos. But
But it says to
So
plan
this is called Sartiano's Steakhouse, right? At
Sartiano's.
the
Yeah.
Wynn.
Yep.
And
Yep. I
so
mean, it's as I'm looking at the prices, they're about standard
mhm,
for a steakhouse. Um, but it's still expensive when you, like any restaurant, when you have to get everything extra. So you
mhm.
order your steak, then you get your potatoes, then you get your vegetable. Okay, but that's not all on the same plate. Everything is individual. That kind of chaps my hide. I don't. And again, now, okay, so I'm going to skip a beat and go over. That is why I always say, when people say um, at Caesar's,
Mhm.
oh, the buffet there, oh, it's just so expensive. Well, it is, but you get to go back.
Right,
And
right.
if you want more bread, you go back.
Mhm.
And if you want more vegetables, bacchanal, yes, it's a little pricey.
Especially people love going to that for all the seafood.
Yes. Oh my God. You could just keep going back and
Right.
they're not going to tell you no. So our point always being is, yes, you can go to a very nice steakhouse and, get your dinner and spend quite a bit of money because of all the sides that you have to pay for.
Right. And I think a restaurant like that would would say, well, yes, the prices are high, but it's the experience.
Experience and the ambiance
Right,
and
right.
what you get when you go there. And I get that.
I mean, you've already got SW Steakhouse, which has, the Lake of Dreams show,
Yes, yes.
which was fun, which we did.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But again, though, I will say, I'll interject and say, okay, so they have that, but it wasn't the greatest ambiance. It wasn't the greatest.
well, you got the free show,
Well, you got the free
and
show.
that's really cool, though.
It was, but I don't know. We were still kind of
Is
irritated by where we got sat, especially when you made the reservations.
I'm just thinking about this. So this new steakhouse at the Wynn is going to be overlooking the golf course. That all sounds good in theory, but aren't most steakhouses
At night,
at night?
unless they're planning on putting some big bright lights out there or something.
What would be the
Unless
point?
it opens earlier, I don't know.
What would- why would that be part of like a press release of like saying it overlooks the golf course?
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
it's going to be black. It's going to be dark. And I
Unless
don't
they
think,
light it up, I don't know. But what's there
unless,
to look at?
but
Really?
the golf course is on the north and northeast side of the building, so it's not like you get a view of the sphere. So like if that was on the other side, then you would maybe catch the sphere, and I could see how that could be really cool.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's
Definitely.
paying for ambiance and experience, but I don't know. I don't know.
I really, and again, I'm not trying to be a snob. I think it's just there isn't really a steakhouse that we've been to that, as far as ambiance and what goes on around you,
Hmm.
I haven't been thoroughly impressed with it, only because there's too much going on around you that it's really
A lot of hustle and
a
bustle.
lot of hustle and bustle. So, and I do realize it's a restaurant. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
They
going to
want
go
to
on.
turn over.
Exactly.
They want
Yep, they
people.
want you out. They want to bring in the next reservation. But I don't know. I'm trying to think of the last time that was pretty.
Ocean Prime.
Ocean Prime. Yeah, Ocean One's closed. Ocean Prime.
I hate that those are so similar.
So similar, and they're two completely different things.
Yeah, we've talked about that, and Ocean Prime is, well, at least when we went, superb, excellent customer service,
Absolutely.
just all around. So
I
yeah,
would. I
with
would.
the outdoor patio that overlooks the intersection of like
Yeah.
Harmon Square. You got the Cosmo view, you got Planet
But
Hollywood
everything
view.
inside, it was very nice. Very. I don't know. I would say that would probably be right now the only one I could think of that I was pretty impressed by.
Yeah.
Just everything.
As far as newer ones, you have like
Yes.
Golden Steer, which has its history with Elvis and the Rat Pack.
I still
staying-
would like to go to Golden Steer again, but you'd have to go with a bunch of people. I want to go in the room where they all went and had their little dinners and powwows and all that, because I love mob or anything like that. So but yeah, it's really funny that you mentioned PR,
Why is that?
a local baseball team that would like to be here.
Oh, which baseball team would that be?
I shouldn't even say the baseball team that wants to be here.
because they don't want,
John Fisher wants to be here.
yeah.
It's a whole PR thing.
Yeah.
It's a big PR thing.
Well, they're having a groundbreaking ceremony coming up next week, actually, I think,
The
right?
23rd, I believe.
So that's Monday, right?
Yeah.
20, 21, yep.
Yep.
Monday at
Yep.
8 a.m.,
Mm-hmm.
bright and early. They're going to put the shovels in the ground. And still no finances that have been disclosed that are secured. And I mean,
So,
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, we follow Brody. What's Brody's last name?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I just went right out of my head. We really enjoy watching him. He's with the NBC affiliate
In the Bay Area.
in the Bay Area. Yes, and he and sports. I mean, he is just the sports. He's the baseball guy,
Mm-hmm.
and so we've followed him and watched him for a very long time. And even people that he's collaborating with that are in the area that know things that are going on that you won't hear here. You won't
Right.
hear here.
Right.
You won't hear it here.
You kind of get the unvarnished truth.
Exactly. He was saying how, and this is in quotes on X, actually. He's saying that the groundbreaking isn't in the construction schedule. It's just a PR thing for everybody to come out and take pictures, and which goes along with what I've been saying, and I even said it last week that I've been saying it, that it's all just, look, we're still here. We're still here. We're still relevant. Like, pay attention. We're still here.
Right.
But the funding isn't there.
Right.
That's the whole big part of it.
Wasn't like the Sacramento is the minor league baseball team or is he a basketball team or Sacramento? What's the owner that said he was interested in buying the A's?
Yes, there's and his last name is Revejic, something different. So he owns the Sacramento Kings.
Okay.
He owns them, and he wants to buy the A's.
Of course, John Fisher's not going to let him.
Nope. He wants to buy the A's and build a stadium in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And John's like, no.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Not going to let you. And he's like itching. He's been wanting to do this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, and they are doing, that work of supposedly the footings and everything else. I need to make my way back down there again. When I passed by the new company that's actually starting
The construction.
the changeover from demolition from the demolition company GGG and to this new. I didn't catch the name of it, but it's outside the Tropicana in one of the old entrances that you go in. But I mean, time will tell. I mean, what you were saying about Brody being, always on, air, TV, and radio, really knowing,
he does know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, and he's also been a fan, like ever since he was a kid.
Exactly.
He was an A's fan.
Talking about going with his dad and
right. So
how heartbroken he was when this all started. Yeah.
And so it's not even, sure, it's an emotional thing that people are, upset that the A's left and the whole John Fisher thing, but it's also everybody's going like, how does this even make financial sense?
That's the biggest question.
Right. Let's even say that, they had all the finances locked up. We talked last week about Goldman Sachs, U.S. Bank, they threw in like $300 million.
Right.
We, as our taxpayers, are throwing in $350 million, which leaves a mere $1.1 billion.
And we never approved it. We never said it was a good idea and said, yay, let's do this.
Let's just say that, got all the financing, whatever it is. They've got $1.7 billion in funding. You still have to make that money, and there's not enough seats even if you sold out that baseball park for concerts, events, of course, baseball, it still doesn't financially add up. Yeah. And you've got to have all the A's fans travel, and who's to say once they build the ballpark how this this half dome or whatever it is, the latest renderings of whatever, if that's really going to come to fruition. But we talked a long time ago about this, but me working at the Trop and anybody that's works on the Strip that goes westbound and the sun is setting, and that sun is going to come in that baseball park like you wouldn't believe.
It's bad enough just on an everyday basis.
And in
when
the summer
you're
in
trying
July,
to drive.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, in July, and they'll have to. The ironic thing is that they wanted this view of like New York, the hotel out there,
Right.
and then you're going to have to. I mean, I guess even if you would have to do this, I mean, I don't know how in the hell heavy that would be, but some type of clear, glass-like structure. I'm not in construction, so I don't know. Maybe they have something that can do that so that when they close it, that it blocks enough sun, but you can still see out, like almost a tent. I don't know.
Right.
And maybe that's a thing. I mean, there's a lot of new technology, but all I know is that sun is super bright, even in the winter.
Yes, it
So-
doesn't matter. It's that time of day
Yeah.
when the sun starts coming down.
Right. So you think most baseball games start about 7 o'clock at night. Sun is setting right then. That's one of our. I mean, it's not the hottest part of the
No,
day.
it starts about 4.
Yeah. And it's going to be very, very hot. So I don't know about that.
Well, the whole thing is, look, I know people, because they'll make comments, and okay, I get it. They'll make comments about, how we're hating on the A's, or, we just don't want baseball here. No, we're just keeping up with everything, and we're just reporting it. And the comments that we have, they're what we've been talking about this whole entire time since it started.
They're definitely, though, in the minority. The supposed opinions.
No, I know. But what I'm trying to say, though, is that we're not hating on the A's. We're not. I don't even want to use that word, but that's literally we're not. We don't dislike them. We don't dislike
We
football.
just wanted an expansion baseball team. Is
Pretty
what we wanted.
much, yes. We don't dislike baseball, and I just kind of always want to put it out there because if we said it like 3 episodes ago, people won't see that we're saying
We're
it.
originally from San Diego,
Right.
and we were San Diego Padre fans.
That's how we grew up.
And in through thick and thin, in through the bad times and the good times.
Yep.
Even when it's bad times, there's something about, like, some people think, oh, baseball's boring, which I can see that because you're just sitting there waiting for pitches and all that, where football is like constant, like moving. But there's something about going to a baseball game, getting a hot dog, sitting down,
And
that's
chilling
part.
out.
Yeah, it's part of the whole vibe.
Yeah, chilling out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
you don't have to be all crazy and feel like, you've got to act a certain way. When you go there, you just go and you kick back and you.
So yeah, when even the Padres were losing,
Oh, that was bad. We're still on board.
you're still going out. You're like, hey, let's go to the game.
It's your hometown baseball
Yeah.
team, and I get it. Somebody could move to another city and they're still, with theirs, wherever they're from. But that's where we grew up. So we're not saying we want the Padres here. We would just like it if we kind of had our own,
Like the Golden Knights, we've
like
said
the
before.
Golden Knights. Yeah,
which were
exactly.
an NHL expansion team.
Yeah. And plus, we're only talking about things that, like I said, we've been talking about that outside of Vegas is being talked about in real time.
Yeah.
In real, like from sportscasters.
And this is not even an exaggeration. I would say the amount of comments when we bring up the A's, they're pretty much 98 like, what the heck is going on, to 2 going, oh, you just wait. Baseball is going to be amazing in Vegas. Literally like 2 comments out of 100 that are like positive, so I mean, I don't know.
We get them back and forth, and the people that live here go, nope, don't want. Here's the stopping point. Don't want it on the Strip. Don't want the stadium on the Strip. Not that we don't want baseball.
Just the amount of traffic.
Yeah, take the A's. It wouldn't matter who the team was. It's not that we don't want them. We just don't want all that traffic.
Right.
I'm like one of the busiest. It's known to be
And let's not
one
even-
of the busiest corners.
And of course, if you want to park close,
oh, good
it's going to
luck.
probably cost you at least $100.
And that's the other
3
thing.
years from now, it's probably going to be $150.
And that's what they've been talking about too. Is since the stadium is in Las Vegas, those tickets are going to be expensive. No matter
They have to be so they can make their money.
Exactly, but people are saying how baseball is not as expensive. Well, first of all, it has gone up a bit. But you're not going to get your hometown prices in Las Vegas. I'm
No.
sorry. I mean, We used to be able to afford to go to some, of the Knights games, but because they've been here now and they're doing well. Well, they have been doing well. I know this year is
Stanley
not
Cup
great.
champions. Pretty much every year make the playoffs.
Yeah, and so the tickets aren't that cheap,
No.
So again, it's just the reality of what they want to do on that corner of the strip. And again, if anyone doesn't know, they were offered other places for practically nothing. So that's kind of why a lot of us have a beef with it, because it's like, look, you could have been close to the strip, close enough to where people could park. They could, stay maybe off strip. They could do this, they could do that. But no, you want it right here where it's the most expensive to stay, to be able to walk.
Right.
Almost. I mean, kind of during summer, I don't know about that. But and just the traffic. I can't even imagine the traffic.
You've got, let's say, August and September baseball games.
Yeah.
So that'll be going. And then all of a sudden you're going to have Raider games that are going to be starting up preseason in August. So you're going to have major, like even when the Raiders play, you have people that are, they walk forever just so they can quote unquote save a little bit and only spend $50 for parking.
Right.
And troves of people walking all the way to Allegiant Stadium. Now couple that with the A's having a home game. I don't know where everybody's going to go as far as.
And let's put it this way. Just hit me. So they're talking about, it'd be great. Walk to the stadium. What's his name?
Jeremy Aguero.
Jeremy Aguero.
For the record.
For the record.
That guy.
That's a whole other thing with the hearings. Anyway, but he was saying how great it'll be, blah, blah. It was 105 yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't as hot today, but it was 105. And what do we get on our phone constantly? Severe weather warnings to stay out of the heat.
And we're
so
only in
let's have everybody walk.
And we're only in June. Yeah. So you do June 3 years from now, and 3 days ago we had, I think, 110 degrees. Something like that. And we're in the middle of June.
And this is unusual for June.
Yes, sure, in June we start getting warm.
Yeah.
But warm as in around 100.
100.
And that's usually about the norm, and it's good because it kind of gets you used to. We've already had triple digits in April.
I know.
So now
it's like it went really high and then it was really weird all coming into June.
April's always kind of been like that, where April will have but that was even hotter than a normal.
Yeah. And then we had rain.
Yeah.
It cooled down,
Yep.
So it was like this, which isn't really that normal. Monsoons, yes, but there was a couple of days where it was actually cooler and then the rain came. But regardless of that, summer is not a joke here, and it's getting hotter. So why they would even think that would be a great idea is beyond me. And then what? Everybody's going to have to take an Uber. We'll just jam up traffic even more. There's just, to me, with traffic and getting there is just a no-win situation.
Yeah,
during summer.
Yeah, and then I can't remember when the Golden Knights start back up again. I think it's around August, September. It could be October. I'm not as familiar on the length of time of when hockey schedule is, but there is even if you take the Golden Knights out of that equation, T-Mobile Arena is a big venue for music artists,
for everything.
Right. And then right next to that, you've got Dolby Live, which we always talk about residencies like Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars, all that stuff. So you have that going on, and it's great that we have all these different entertainment options for people.
It is great.
But like Sunday's usually football. Mm-hmm. So 8 out of 16 games are going to be at Allegiant Stadium, right? When are football games? Sundays.
Yeah.
I think one point we even heard that they said, oh, no, we're going to start those at like 4 o'clock. Like a Sunday game.
Jeremy Aguero.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Aguero, for the record. That guy.
You have got to get a clip of one of those.
I put it in an old newscast because I wanted to, it was around that Memorial Day when they did it.
Put it in this just to show like what we're talking about. We can't help but laugh because this is something this guy would say during the hearings. Like it was like every couple minutes.
Yep.
Every freaking couple
minutes. Every time he was asked a question, he'd have to go, Jeremy Aguero, for the record.
Everybody knew who he was.
And it could be a one-word answer. It'd be like, Jeremy Aguero, for the record. No.
It was too much. It's like, we know who you are.
Yeah.
Be quiet and answer.
7 hours or whatever of that. So anyway, I would go back to my point of if you move the baseball game, even if you move the baseball game to 4 o'clock, and you're still competing with the Raider foot traffic,
Right.
the people, everything.
There's
It's-
a lot. That's like you
so
were saying.
you
There's
got-
a lot of foot traffic.
Yeah. So even if you do the game on a Sunday at 4 o'clock, that's when the football game is getting out. So you have a bunch of people getting out of Allegiant Stadium and supposedly a bunch of people coming in for the baseball game. So I don't know how that's all going to work. But you know what? They have to have financing. So
That's the bottom
next
line, and they don't have it.
Yeah. I just, before we go today, I want to just give a huge shout out, thank you to, there's so many people that, hit me up about my listing that's been in the Southwest of Las Vegas. And it's really cool because it was only on the market for 11 days.
Oh, the house. Yeah.
Yes. And
this
so,
last house.
if people kind of notice, I'm doing a few more localized, like what this neighborhood looks like, our movie Mondays and everything. But I just want to do a shout out to a lot of people that were inquiring about that house because it's a cute little house. And,
It was very cute.
yeah, and got more stuff coming. So that's why I'm doing those movie Mondays because a lot of people are kind of interested in some of these, areas. And Southwest Las Vegas is the most booming.
Yeah, it is.
And it has been for literally like 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's still going.
Yeah, it's still going. Most definitely.
Yep.
And then, this is no big deal, but I just thought this was the cutest thing that happened to us on Father's Day.
What's that?
We were at Jackson's having brunch, and we're eating, and this gentleman just kind of slowly saunters up, trying to pass us, and he's all, "So, no filming today, huh?"
Yeah.
What? I mean, it's like, do you, what? He goes, "You're not filming?" No, because we're not. We weren't filming. And we're like, no filming. He's like, "Watch you guys on YouTube." Long story short, very nice gentleman. And he says he watches this all the time. So if he's out there, his name was Odie. Was it Odie?
Something like
I
that.
believe it was Odie. Very nice gentleman. And I ran into him a couple times in the restaurant, and he's all, "Hi again." Just very cute. So I wanted to say hi and thank him again for watching us. And he didn't have to come up and say anything. He could have just kept walking.
Exactly.
So I just thought it was really cute that he just, said hi.
Yeah.
So if you're watching by chance, hi.
Well, I think with that, Vegas Tea Time episode 11 is a wrap. Leave a comment below on any of these stories, your opinions on it. We'd love to hear from you in the comment section below. Of course, thumbs up the video. That really does help us out. Subscribing is absolutely free, right, Christina?
It is
And
free.
how are people able to know that we're putting out a new video?
Set their notifications.
Bell notifications. That's right. Bell notifications. You want to be alerted to all of our videos, including live streams. Turn on those bell notifications, and that should alert you. Turn them to all, not personalized.
Yeah, not personalized, all.
Turn them to all, and that should alert you to all of our new videos.
And
All right, buddy.
streams.
Yeah,
When we're out
I
streaming.
did say that.
Oh,
yeah,
my
and our
bad.
live streams. All right, everybody. Until the next one, stay safe.
And stay silly.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Say bye. Are you hot?